Astroneer is a pretty chill game where we, the player, can involuntarily ruin our property.
Ah, crap.
But what's also in the game are a bunch of collectible research items. And if you're like me and you go, "Ooh, what's this?" Or, "Ooh, what is this place?" well, then this video is for you. Here's a fun story of how we got to Atrox. After our explosive launch out of Novice, our trip to space was chaotic and we couldn't see ourselves until our vehicle broke. Since then, we pretty much stuck together until we landed in Atrox without any jetpacks.
I didn't bring jetpack! I didn't bring jetpack! No!
Oh,
Yeah, I'm alive!
bye.
I'm alive!
And surprisingly, some of us actually survived.
I
Bye.
survive! I survive! I'm gonna dance around your dead body.
Since we're here now, let's talk about Atrox. Atrox is a moldy planet. Its atmosphere is filled with spores, and its ecosystem is primarily filled with small plants, fungi, and slime molds, giving the planet a sporadic and foamy appearance. Atrox is also filled with a lot of hostile flora that give you a variety of ways to perish from. From these flora, you can get impaled, choked, asphyxiated, catapulted, and finally, exploded.
What did you
Atrox has the highest valued research items and research samples in the game. There are a total of 9 research items that are unique to Atrox, and each and every one of them give off more than 1,800 bytes. You can find 4 of them out in the open, 2 with a bit of digging, and 3 that will take you underground. We'll start with the Foamy research items. The Foamy research items can all be found on spore-producing organisms. To find the spore sac, look for fungal pods that populate the surface. The spore sac can be located on a single odd-colored pod, which is not very difficult to miss. To find the mold cube, look for slime molds that grow on the surface surrounding the basins. Look for yellow slime molds, and you will be able to find it attached to the foam. In order to find the foam Garcinia, you need to first locate the eroded volcano. The eroded volcano resembles a mountain made out of cheese that stretches into the sky. In this biome, slime molds of various colors populate its porous landscape. The foam Garcinia will be located on the foam of one of these slime molds, so just clamber up to it and nip it off. The Foamy research items give off between 1,800 bytes to 1,950 bytes. They have a thematic yellow that I can appreciate, as they fit very well with Atrox's theme. Next, let's move on to the Bulbous research items. The Bulbous research items are often attached to the ground near Flora. To find the moss spiro, look for hills that are populated by grass. It will be out in the open, so just walk up to it and pick it up. To find the pith nut, look for pulsating cactuses that give off research samples. All you have to do is dig below them and you may find it. As for the algae Garcinia, dig below every other life forms that give off research samples. You should be able to find it after a few digs. The Bulbous research items give off between 1,850 bytes to 3,000 bytes. And like the Foamy research items, they have a very thematic green and yellow coloring that fits very well with Atrox's theme. Besides the research items, there are a pair of collectible items that can only be found on Atrox, and that's the Caudrangea and the Caudrangea root. The Caudrangea and its root can be obtained during the EXO Biofuel Obtainment Operation Limited Time event. They will be out in the open, surrounded by hostile flora. The Caudrangea is the only way to obtain biofuels, which are items used for the event and in other cases for decorations. On the other hand, the Caudrangea root is the first alternative base platform design to ever exist in the game, so collect as many of it as you can and decorate your base with them. let's get to the Subterranean research items. You can find the putty slime within the first 4 layers beneath the surface. It will be resting on top of a stone structure that resembles a cloud. To find the fossil flower, go deeper until you enter a pretty wormy cathedral layer. In this layer, floral structures that resemble sea worms populate the area. The fossil flower can be found on a lonely stalk, implying that the fossil flower is a calcified remain of one of these spectacular life forms. Finally, to look for the uranium geode, go deeper until you're right before the core. Because the uranium geode has a bright red glow, you can easily see it from a distance should it exist. If you don't see it, look for stone structures that give off research samples. Dig below them and you may find it. The Subterranean research items give off a lot of bytes, and because of this, they take a long time to research. They make up the top 3 byte producers in Atrox, and the uranium geode gives off the most bytes in the entire game. Now that you know where to find all the research items in Atrox, here's a ranking of their byte value. And here's my ranking of their design value. And now for some strong opinions. Seriously, Atrox's research items may not look very appealing, but from a design standpoint, they are my absolute favorite. And if you've been keeping up with my other videos, you'd know that I have a very strong compass for recognizing theme consistencies. And Atrox is perfect for it. Atrox's surface is primarily greenish and yellowish, and the research items reflect that. The mantle of Atrox is mostly reddish, greenish, and yellowish, and the research items also reflect that. Because I love the theme consistency so much, I'm putting most of Atrox's research items into A tier and the research items that have an extra glow into S tier. Congratulations Atrox, the whole class scored an A because they made Papa Nate happy.
Yay!
But what do you guys think? Leave a comment below to share about your stories with these research items. With Atrox's research items finally in town, we can now complete our collection of mineral and organic typed research items that are tied to the planets and the moons. So what's left is to cover the unknown and technological typed research items. So stay tuned for my future Astroneer videos. That's going to do it for today. If you enjoy my content, be sure to leave a like and share it with all of your Astroneer buddies. If you want to see more videos from me, consider subscribing and ring the notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. That's it from me. My name is Sandbox Nate. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.
Dude, I found a dragon. He's eating on something.
I am the dragon.
All this time you were lying to me?